Hello everyone, welcome. Dr. Mandell here with you. Hope you're having a pleasant day or night regardless of where you are worldwide. We are streaming live via YouTube. Notifications are going out. Let's go ahead and move into the program all about how to heal stomach pain. Ulcers, gastric ulcers, gastritis. We're looking at the old chronic stomach condition, and this is a program I really think is going to help a lot of people. I did a lot of homework. Bear with me. I'm going to move through this real fast. First of all, what is gastritis? Gastritis is a condition where the stomach lining becomes inflamed, most commonly seen from poor diet. Now, there are other factors like smoking, alcohol, stress, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. There are many things that can lead to inflammation, as well as eating too much. So the first thing I'm going to tell people out there is you need to eat smaller meals if you are having stomach ailments. You need to watch the amount of fat that you're consuming because lots of fat means slower digestion, and you should not be eating any type of large meals before you go to bed. Problems. So let's go into a couple important things. Realize that chronic gastritis, inflammation of this lining, can be eroded over time. Gastritis can be very, very chronic. This can go on for lots of months. You can have this your whole life if you don't take care of it. But what I'm going to teach you some great little tips, great nutritional tips, things you need to stop doing, and hopefully you're going to knock this thing out. There's nothing worse than being on these chronic antacids, chronic Tums, proton pump inhibitors, histamine blockers. These things affect the assimilation of calcium. It affects and directly affects osteopenia, lack of calcium in the bone, as well as osteoporosis. Realize that when you have a stomach ailment and the gastroenterologist says, okay, get on this acid blocker, get on this proton pump inhibitor, you seem to never come off of it. You've been on for years. And I'm talking about years. Guess what? So have I. I have in the past. I'm off. I had stomach ailments, and I beat this because what I'm about to teach you, I applied to myself. So this is the real stuff because this is working through me. So I'm going to share a few things with you. Realize that there is one type of bacteria, about 60% of the world have this, called Helicobacter H. pylori, Helicobacter pylori, H. pylori. And this particular bacteria can stay in the stomach, and it can erode the stomach and cause ulcers. Lots of ulcers are caused by this particular bacteria. When you go get this checked out and realize there's never, we don't want to tell you this. Let me say this. If you're having chronic conditions, please get checked out with your doctor or gastroenterologist. Let them rule out H. pylori if it is something that is just out of control. Okay? Most people who have gastritis do not have H. pylori. That's active. That's causing ulcers. There's a difference between an ulcer and gastritis. Let's show you real fast while I'm on that topic here. Here's an ulcer. H. pylori damages the protective mucus layer. As it damages it, you can then acid can pass through that weakened mucus layer, causing the ulcer. An ulcer basically is a hole or something making its way through the stomach lining. So we got that straightened out. Okay, so let's go about a few things. And by the way, what I'll do with you at the end of the program, I'm going to go over some common things you can do to knock out H. pylori. Some really great remedies. So I won't forget about that, and I will touch on that. But first, let's go on to the gastritis types. We have the acute and the chronic. Obviously, an acute gastritis is something that just happens and it goes away. The chronic gastritis are people like you listening right now. I have stomach ailments, and the sucker just won't go away. I feel good for a couple of days, a week. I eat something, and it comes right back. I get stressed out, it comes right back. Yes, stress will affect gastritis. So very important, you need to monitor stress because stress ups the epinephrine, the adrenaline, the cortisol, and all those things do affect digestion, and it can lead to increased hydrochloric acid. Increased hydrochloric acid can affect the stomach lining. Obviously, the most important things that cause this are unhealthy eating. I would say that's number one in the chart. Excessive smoking and drinking. Certain autoimmune diseases, which is very, very rare. Extreme stress is very big. and viral infections, which are not really common. So let's go into a few of the things. By the way, if you are having these symptoms of chronic gastritis, the common symptoms are basically nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, abdominal cramping, lots of bloatiness, lots of gas. Those are the primary signs. So let's go into the bread and butter. Let's go into all the good stuff here. First thing that I'm going to tell people about chronic gastritis is the old apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is a wonderful thing to have with chronic gastritis. 1 tablespoon to about 8 to 10 ounces of water. You can put a little bit of honey in there, and guess what? Honey is another miracle thing for gastritis, especially H. pylori, because Manuka honey is the most amazing antibacterial thing around. They're using Manuka honey directly on wounds outside this country, and they're getting results, and they're preventing amputations because that Manuka honey will fight those bacteria where antibiotics won't. So that's an amazing thing I want to share with you. But apple cider vinegar is excellent. Aloe vera. Some people like to have the plant right in their own backyard. Aloe vera, amazing. A couple teaspoons of that. Just drink that baby down. Do that regularly. It can be done several times a day. Aloe vera can do wonders for you. People living on Tums, a little baking soda is not going to hurt you. It is alkaline, a little bit of water, about 1 tablespoon, actually a teaspoon of baking soda, mix it around. You can do that periodically. That will probably take a lot of the edge off of it. One of my favorites, particularly those people in the islands. What about coconut water? Wow. Now, I'm not talking about coconut milk, coconut water. Those are like the baby non-ripe coconuts. Excellent. So you may want to look into that. One of my favorite, believe it or not, and probably one of the best things for the coating of the stomach is cabbage juice. You can do some research on that. You can actually cut the cabbage into pieces. You can actually juice it. You can extract a cup of fresh cabbage juice and just drink it. I'll promise you that cabbage juice is probably one of the greatest miraculous healers of stomach problems. So put that in your basket with you. Coconut oil, I can't leave that out. Excellent antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, antimicrobial. Coconut oil is wonderful. Okay? Coconut oil we know is antimicrobial, and it can do wonders because those people who are suffering possibly with H. pylori, this can and will knock it out in a lot of cases. Okay? Understand one thing. We don't want to replace medicine when it comes needed. All right? So I want you to take that into respect that there are conditions that may need medical care. But I can promise you the majority of these can be helped by themselves if you do things correctly. Green tea is an excellent thing. You can take a little green tea. You can add a little honey to it. Now you got a double whammy in there. All right, so that green tea, you can drink it down. That has great antioxidants, helps alleviate gastritis symptoms. You can do that several times a day. Ginger, one of my favorite. Ginger for digestion, ginger for anti-inflammatory. Ginger, you can chew on the ginger. You can chase it down with a little bit of water or milk. That will help you tremendously. Yogurt, don't ever forget those probiotics. Kefir is one of my favorites, preferably organic. Yogurt is excellent. You are putting good bacteria into your system. Remember, good bacteria helps eat up the bad bacteria. So good bacteria is very important, particularly those who are on antibiotics. You must supplement with probiotics or even prebiotics. The prebiotics feed the probiotics, but the probiotics, it keeps your immune system strong. You got something in your body, you put probiotics in it, you're going to be running like Rocky. That's what you need. So we talked about honey. I like the Manuka honey particular, but all honeys are good. All right, we won't knock that. Kefir, again, make sure it is organic. Oatmeal is very good as well. It helps coat it. You can add it with a little bit of bananas, pears, or apples with it if you had to. You can actually put a little water or milk with it, but the oatmeal has been known to help the digestive process. It helps, it has fiber. Obviously, you got to be careful eating fiber. You don't want anything that's too roughage. Preferably cooked things are easier on the stomach. Do not add roughage, not lots of salads, not lots of heavy fibers that can aggravate it. Pineapple juice, believe it or not, is excellent as well. It has digestive enzymes like bromelain. It helps with the irritation of the stomach lining. So if you are suffering from gastritis, you may want to consider this. One of my favorites is slippery elm. Slippery elm, I like to they have powder. I like the slippery elm tablets. You can just chew on them and it just slowly goes down. Coats your esophagus, goes all the way down to the stomach. Very, very good. Slippery elm is good. Turmeric is also good. I'm not really big with too much turmeric. I like the ginger over the turmeric, but turmeric does have anti-inflammatory effects. So therefore, you can actually make it as like a paste. You can actually mix it with a little bit of powder, water, maybe a little bit of yogurt you can add it to, or a little banana. But too much of it can sometimes cause inflammation. Almond milk is very good. Helps actually restore the normal pH of the stomach. It soothes the inflamed lining. Licorice root, one of my favorite. It must be deglycerinized. Deglycerinized licorice, because regular licorice can increase blood pressure. Deglycerinized licorice, I take myself. Where is it? I don't have it here with me. It's downstairs. But that will not raise your blood pressure, and it soothes that lining all the way down the esophagus, all the way into the stomach lining. Deglycerinated licorice, you should have that in your car, have it in your purse. Mastic gum is actually really good as well. You can simply just chew on this. This actually coats the lining. Mastic gum has also been known to kill H. pylori. All right, so this is something that even though you're chewing these things and doing this for gastritis, you may have H. pylori and not know it, but by doing these kind of remedies, you can knock it out and eradicate it. So, which is good to know. Potato juice is a remedy. 2 to 3 raw potatoes. Take a little bit of warm water. You can peel and grate those potatoes, squeeze out the juice, and drink it. A half a glass mixed with some warm water, maybe a half an hour before your meals. Really, really good for chronic gastritis. But remember, no matter what you eat, you have to make sure you're not doing the wrong things. The sleeping, the smoking, the alcohol, the stress. You really need to monitor that stress. Very, very important. Drinking lots of water, even with lemon I like. Even though lemon is acidic outside the body, it becomes alkaline inside the body. I like a little bit of lemon. I think it is really, really soothing. Watch out for those fried and spicy foods. Try to get those out of your diet. Watch out for those certain medications like nonsteroidal anti-inflammatories, like ibuprofens, the proxins. Those things can aggravate it. Get into a little regimen of maybe a little bit of yoga, some meditation. Those things are real, real good for you. Fruits like apples, cranberries, blueberries, cherries are actually very good. Vegetable recommendations like onions and kale, bell peppers, tomatoes, spinach, and actually beans are good. We talked about herbs like garlic, ginger. Garlic is very good, by the way. I didn't mention that. Whole grains, brown rice is good. And if you're going to eat meats, make sure it's lean and not fatty. Okay, really important. Just be careful with oily foods like French fries and onion rings, your margarines, your carbonated caffeinated drinks, your citrus fruits, as well as sugars. Sugars will exacerbate your particular stomach problem because sugars are very, very acidic. Okay, so hopefully you got that. Let me just go over a few quick things before I end up here. I try to move this as quick as I can. Regarding the H. pylori, I promised you about a couple remedies. The mastic gum is very, very good. Probiotics, make sure you stay on there. Cranberry juice has been known, believe it or not, to help prevent or actually limit the bacteria of H. pylori. Manuka honey, as we said before, one of the best things. Manuka honey has been known to eradicate H. pylori. Manuka is one of the best, so you can check into that as well. Olive oil has actually been known to fight the H. pylori, and that's something we have at home. Believe it or not, green tea, as we mentioned, as well as red wine, is actually really good. But those deglycerinated licorice, as well as here is Korean red ginseng. They've tested this, has been very helpful as well. I hope that I kind of got as much as I can to you as quick as I can. There's a lot to talk about in this particular condition. And one last thing I don't want to leave out is broccoli sprouts. It's a compound in there that is known to be effective against H. pylori. Remember that 60% of the population, they say, has H. pylori, but by having a good diet, we are knocking these things out and keeping it under control. Remember, probiotics is so important, keeping that immune system strong, being vibrant, staying healthy. That's why we're all here together. I really appreciate chatters being in there. A lot of chatters in the chat room today. I really appreciate you being here very much. I want to just go ahead and let you know, please subscribe to my channel. I will continue to do my research to get the cutting edge nutrition for you. Check out my channel, Motivational Doc. Great self-help videos. I am a chiropractor with lots of background in nutrition, but check out my videos. Great things, forward head posture, sciatica, shoulder, knee, all kinds of musculoskeletal conditions. Really great things to help yourself, save your money from going to doctors. Hopefully we can do that with you. Actually, give me a like on my Facebook, Motivational Doc on Facebook. I'd really appreciate that. Most important, I really ask everyone out there to make it a great day or night, and God bless you. Bye-bye now.